Hello again. Today we're gonna go forward on part number 5. As I've said, I didn't want to make that part number 4 a step back, but I had to because we had many questions, and it's okay to argue, to uh, ask questions, write comments on topic, and I think it's really good when people share their opinions. And so, okay. As you remember, I've presented in part number 1 the players, the current teams of today's game. So let's say that those are 4 players, and this is the owner of casino, or player number 1, which is international financial banksters and a financial mafia. It has a lot more money than everybody, and it owns actually this casino, this table, and stuff like that. Second player is globalists, so-called globalists, liberals, Democrats, or whatever you call them, which also include players like China, communists, and stuff like that. Third one is religion. The second one is religion, and third one is globalist mafia, and the fourth one is a nationalist, the most modest one. It doesn't have much money, but it has some power, so it could sit on the table. So right now, who is playing? Who is playing from the teams? Of course, this is international banksters, and they always playing. We got liberals are putting China to play, which is been proven at the recent meeting in Switzerland, where Chinese Secretary Xi Jinping said that we start in a new global game, and it's gonna be globalism on China's rules. And we're gonna talk today about the China. Who is this guy here? It's a casino tough guy who can kick ass of each and every one. Right now, the casino tough guy is the United States, but sometimes when he is on vacation, he asks someone else to check out for this casino game is playing okay, and they earning money just like in good old days. So let's say that today we're gonna talk about China. China. So China is playing for globalists right now, and you know that they're making a bunch of this new stuff like great new Silkway, which is supposed to be from let's do it on the map. Okay, this is the new Silkway. I'm gonna show it to you. The new Silkway is gonna be, sorry for showing it on Google. So the new Silkway is gonna be from China through India, Pakistan, Iran, Iraq, Syria, Turkey, Bulgaria, and Greece. Here is the end, and the alternative way is through Ukraine to Poland to Germany. So the finish point is Berlin here, and the southern Greece here. So this is the seaway from Turkey to Greece, and this is the way from Odessa, which is a huge port here, to through Poland to Berlin. So they're gonna connect Germany and Beijing here. Germany is one of the best economies right now in Europe, and probably is the best. And Greece is gonna be supplying all this region like Italy, France, Spain, and so on. So these are two ways, and they are probably following the same route or route until they come to Turkey, and there they split in two ways. So as you can see, the point of interest right now is Syria, and that's why we have so many talks about end of the world, end of this fight, global fight. Here in Damascus, the world decides actually what is gonna be, if it's gonna be a greater Israel here, or if it's gonna be a new Silk Way. Either way, or it's gonna be ISIS empire, which is proclaimed by the ISIL here in Syria. Who knows who's gonna win here, but Russia interacted here, and American allies are pushing from Iraq, so probably ISIS is not going to win. At least we can see this into perspective, in a close perspective, in a short term. But maybe in a couple of decades it's gonna be started all over again, because Saudis ain't gonna step back with Qatar and Turkey. Turkey always wanted to re-establish its influence in this region, so does Israel, and Israel probably won't be supported by USA that much as it does right now, and if it's gonna be losing its positions, probably Israel's gonna be erased sooner or later, who knows. But it may survive, and as some guys say, it could actually capture all this area and re-establish Greater Israel, so-called Greater Israel. But they have a plan B, and they can occupy Crimea, which is right now under Russian control, and Russia has pretty good relations with Israeli government. We even have this Israeli district here. This is the only Jewish state, autonomous state in the world. Even we have it in Russia. It's closer to China, and of course it's a pretty good place for re-establishing, and the plan C for Israel. But globalists will abandon this idea if they're gonna be winning here. So China is planning to re-establish this new Silk Way, and to be closer to mudflood topic, we must understand what is China actually. Why is it related to mudflood, just like Russia and everyone else? So today I was going to show you some pictures of famous Great Wall of China. As you can see, those I don't know how they call them, windows and stuff like that, so where soldiers can actually shoot from those places, are set up to be from south to the north direction, because probably it is true, and some places we have it different way, but today it's not the topic, because somebody has theories that it was not built by Chinese, and it probably wasn't built by Chinese at the first time, because we have many evidence that those windows were set to the south, and now they are being rebuilt. At least reparations or restorations were done, and repairing of this wall is continuous, and Chinese can actually move the windows from one part of the wall to another part of the wall. So that's a good point for those who believe it was not built by Chinese. But right now all those restored walls are made from south to north direction. Okay, this is the map of construction of those walls, as the actual historians tell us that there are many walls here, and some of them were built earlier, some of them were built later, but so there are many of those walls here. Okay, some of them look miserable like this, and probably those walls could have been built by somebody who call themselves Chinese, because they don't actually not very well preserved and don't look very good, just looking like piles of some mud and stuff like that. But this is actual footage from the beginning of 20th century, and look how those walls actually look in that time, at that time. What I've been checking is actually they have the direction I was talking about. And what else? Look, so they are lined from north to the south. And what else here is significant? The lack of so-called plants, so-called trees, the abandonment of this whole wall, because it looks like it was abandoned for a while, and it has like a bunch of mud on it. So again, it's lined to the south from the north. And look, we don't have any trees here, although this is mountainous area, and it's supposed to have it like this right now. So it doesn't look that way in the beginning of 20th century. It looks pretty much abandoned and destroyed. Mostly it looks like it's not well preserved, although some trees are here, but it looks like all is dried out and stuff like that, just like we saw on those pictures from Russia. Let me show him again. Like, these are pictures from Proskudin-Gorsky, which were made in let's say 1912, and we can see these same places right now. Look how they are changed, how they were changed. So the trees obviously grow in our time, and we're not probably lack of those plants and trees at that time. But some places have some trees, although not that much dense trees. Okay, so this is just a theory, guys, so you make your own decisions, because at my point of view, something bad occurred in the 19th century, and still 1912 is about 100 years after that. So the trees could have been grown, and stuff like that. So again, let's return to China. We have this lack of plants here. Let's just watch those pictures and I'll make some comments. Probably they look even worse than Russian ones. But we can see the Chinese people actually walking around those areas, those walls. This is a painting of 19th century, and we also can see that it has lack of plants here. And as at those Egyptian pictures in Palestine and Ottoman Empire series that I've done, we also can see a bunch of destruction. I mean, the idea is, if you constructed the wall, why can't you repair it? Like you can see it right now, they can repair it, and they do repair it. Why didn't they repair it at that time? Maybe they didn't have enough labor force, but I doubted that, because Chinese always had a bunch of people, and a bunch of them were just regular workers and slaves for noble people. So they could have been repairing, but they left it and probably abandoned for a while. As you can see, those walls are pretty much destroyed. Not right now, because right now it's a tourist object, and a bunch of tourists to visit it every year, and it has to be in good condition. But still we can see some signs. Although it has some grass and stuff like that. It didn't have that much at that time. Look at it. So my point is that Chinese actually obtained the area after the destruction of this whole place. And also, just like everyone else, they captured all those abandoned objects and didn't know what to do with them for a while, until they got enough source power and budget to fix it. And again, we go to Beijing, the capital of China. It's a abandoned city, or closed city, whatever you call it, you name it. It's the emperor's palace in the past. Right now it's a huge museum, an object of visiting in Beijing. And close to that object we can see that it is surrounded by those channels filled with water and stuff like that. So somebody said that the ground, the soil that was taken out of those channels was put here, and those hills appeared. So it's okay to say that, but let's check those hills. They have this concrete pasta all over the place. Just that I was showing at the mining videos of mine, we see these concrete objects, concrete pasta everywhere on those hills, and probably we can see some blocks that were taken from some ruins, ancient ruins, but were wasted on the side of those hills for some reason. Maybe to cover up something, who knows? Maybe just they didn't have the waste to put the waste somewhere. But as you can see, it's all around the world, all around the place. And also a bunch of those concrete pasta evidence. So it was probably not a hill made of excavation from those channels. Probably it was made just like those Bosnian pyramids and other places I've been showing on my videos about mining. So probably it was a mining site which produced this leaching underground mining product which was obtained to this pasta. After all, it's a byproduct of this underground leaching procedures. So it's all around this place. I doubt how not everyone is checking this. Why cannot they mention it? And as you can see, China has also swastika design everywhere, and it's okay to see swastika in China. Close to that hill is another hill, and if we check that hill too, it's also obtained with this pasta evidence everywhere. And there's a whole bunch of those little lakes looking much like quarries for me, from my point of view. Those hills close to that place also obtain this evidence that I've shown on the previous hill. And if you look at them from the height, as you can see, they look like abandoned sunken quarries. Probably they are quarries, not just ordinary lakes, and those hills are byproducts of this mining, just the waste from this mining process. Look at it. How can this be done natural? Obviously not. Although it's fixed by Chinese, and it looks right now pretty nice and decent. And the question about those channels, the question is solved. Obviously, those channels were made to transport and logistics from those mines, so you can carry out those mining products that you actually obtain from the ground. And the channel topic is pretty good topic. Maybe sometime else we're gonna talk about different channels all around the world, and they're pretty interesting to talk about. And if you look at Beijing in the early 20th century, you can tell that it looks like a miner's village or something like that. Just complete devastation, complete, something else you cannot say about it. Just a rural area, doesn't look like a capital for me. And this is a 40s, early 40s pictures, maybe 50s of 20th century. Still, this place doesn't look very decent for me. Still, it looks like, and look at those hills, they are not covered with plants and trees, although much time passed from that place, from the time that they were used by as mines. Just a miner's village became capital. And if you look at the map of China's precious things, you can see that there's a whole bunch of ferrum here. So it's just a iron mine in Beijing, and some aluminum here used in iron production, metal production. So iron ore is just a big deal in China. So that's why Chinese are playing right now, because they don't wanna show us the real history, because it's a whole bunch of new facts that are coming up, and stuff like that. So they have to play. They have to mess up with this new world order to be able to protect their history, to protect their way of robbing this planet in their Chinese globalization way. So okay, that's pretty much for today. Next part gonna be pretty much soon. I'm sorry to make so many pauses on this series, but I have my own excuses. Sorry about that, and thanks a lot for watching. See you later. Bye.